Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Monday, the 14th of June, 2021. And we are looking at what's happening to news, the economy, and gold and silver prices first thing this Monday morning. So let's take a look. Okay, so it's a Monday morning. In fact, at the time of producing this, it's 9:18 GMT plus 1. Let's take a quick look at the major news headlines on Bloomberg. Politics, even without Trump, tensions simmer between the US and allies. China says nuke plant operates safely after radiation report. Netanyahu plots comeback even before the new government is sworn in, because, as it says here, Netanyahu's reign over as Israel ushers in fragile government. Johnson set to delay lifting COVID rules as UK cases rise. And Bitcoin jumps after Musk says Tesla will use when mining cleaner. In fact, we watched this overnight and saw up until approximately 11 p.m. our time, Bitcoin jumped some $3,000 from being down earlier in the day. Joe Biden should support a European army, according to Bloomberg, and bashing big oil won't save the planet, and European regulators should let banks bank. There'll be a lot of criticism of that article. And the inflation scares more heat than light so far. Looking at the BBC, which obviously will repeat some of this, lockdown easing in England to be delayed, and we mentioned this over the weekend. Israel's new Prime Minister Bennett promises to unite the nation. And we have, basically, if we have a quick look at the world, and we'll have a look at what's going on in the United States. We can see here, bidder pays $28 million for space trip with Amazon boss. If ever there was too much money floating around in the world. Biden gifts Johnson custom-made bike at G7 summit. That's very kind of him. US officials to probe seizure of Democrats' data. And on the, not quite sure if there's much on the economic front. We've got a picture of the Queen with Joe Biden and his wife. US could work together with Russia on issues such as COVID, cybercrime and conflicts. And I think, frankly, if I go straight to business for just a second, although this will be primarily UK business, we can say banker and rapper face Trump-related probe charge. They're accused of running a back-channel campaign to get Mr. Trump's government to drop a case. Renting is now cheaper than buying a home. Only 4 regions in the UK where it is cheaper to buy a home than to rent a property. For those who think that perhaps property prices are now beginning to peak, then maybe rental is the answer short-term until property prices collapse. The dilemma, particularly in a country like the United Kingdom, is that we have relatively small space, increasing immigration, and therefore a restriction on building on green land, as we call it, which is preserved really to maintain a degree of non-urbanization. And property is always going to be in short supply, and particularly during the pandemic, so little of it has actually been built. We still see house prices rising for a little while yet. And basically, I think British Airways to launch COVID testing trial, Virgin Atlantic explores flying taxi partnership. Of course, with the lockdowns gradually easing, we can see that now the airline companies will start slowly to pick up. But what is happening, this is what we're really here about, what's happening economically and with gold and silver. Well, first of all, we'll have a quick look at the dollar spot index, still above 90, down very marginal 0.06 at 90.49. Equities, well, we know the situation for equities in the United States on Friday, as we mentioned it in our weekly update, and we put a link below if you haven't listened to that. But looking now at Asia Pacific, we can see overnight the Nikkei was up 213, the Tokyo Topics Index is up 5, Hang Seng up 103, CSI down 46, and the MSCI Asia Pacific up 0.22. So the Nikkei and Hang Seng doing moderately well, but still all under 1%, you will notice. And going to Europe, we've got the Euro Stoxx Index is up 16 points, the FTSE up 23, the German DAX up 57, the French CAC at 31. Again, all under 1%. So we're not particularly overexcited by this, in fairness. However, looking at gold today, we can see gold has taken a little bit of a hit. It's down nearly $20 or $19.28. So it's currently 1857 or 1858 as near as, damn it. Not quite sure the reason for that other than the strengthening or moderate strength of the US dollar. And if we take a look at silver, let's have a look at how silver is faring today in US dollar terms. And silver too, like gold, as we can see, is down, is trying to stage a recovery. When it hits this 27.75, it shoots back up to nearly 28. It's trying to get to that 28 level. This is the sort of level that our view is where it's moderately comfortable. In fact, that's 27.94 there, so it's not really quite making 28, though it did last thing last night. And we can see that it is currently down 21 cents. Looking at platinum, we might as well look at the other precious metals while we're here. We can see platinum is marginally down at $1,150. And palladium is down $18, which is negligible on a value of $2,778. And as mentioned at the start, Bitcoin for the day is, in pound terms, is up £2,600. Going over to economic news due to be announced today, and as we mentioned on the weekend, there is nothing actually scheduled of any great import. But tomorrow will be an important day, and so will Wednesday. If we have a quick look at this, we've got retail sales, the producer price index, industrial production, business inventories, and home builders index coming out tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, the all-important Federal Reserve announcement and Fed Chair Jerome Powell's press conference. And yesterday we produced a video, will US rates go up and gold and silver go down on Wednesday? And again, we've placed a link to that one in the description box below. That's it for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel, pressing the bell sign so you're notified of videos as and when they are published. In addition, we'd appreciate a thumbs up and a comment, which helps the YouTube algorithm. Now, during the course of this week, we will produce a number of morning updates, so please stay tuned. Hopefully we can do it every day. I won't guarantee it will happen every day, but what we're finding is that a number of people are logging on, particularly in the UK. We appreciate when this comes out. Many people in other parts of the world will still be in bed, but it is worth having a look to see how markets are reacting first thing in the morning. Finally, any of the YouTube videos we've mentioned during this podcast YouTube video, we've placed links in the description box below, and by all means, please use those links in order to access them quickly. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management, and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice, and merely represent the personal views of its owners.